Hello, Curry County. We are here to kick off a brand new series for a brand new year. Happy 2023. I'm Mindy Turner, your family and consumer science agent in Curry County. We are going to be looking at some financial safety for this series. We're going to talk a little bit about identity theft and some banking safety and information you need to know. It's always good to have refreshers and reminders, all of those things we all think we know about what we should and shouldn't be doing. And it's really easy to forget or for something new to pop up and to just not be sure. So, of course, going into the future, we all want to make sure that we are financially safe and that our identity is protected. For the purpose of this series, we're taking information from Bryce Jorgenson. He's our Extension Family Resource Specialist with New Mexico State University. And it's just important to know he's going to be the expert, sharing lots of great tips with us. And I'm going to share that with you as your county connection to those research-based information from the university. And so it's just important to think about your financial security the same way you think about your safety in the car. We wear a seatbelt in case of an accident, always hoping it never happens. And with our financial safety and security, it's going to be the same thing. There's some seatbelts we need to put on to make sure that if something does happen, we're going to be protected and prepared for that, because it is very common. It happens to a huge percentage of people. And so it's important to understand exactly what identity theft is, what it can look like, and how it can affect you. So according to the Federal Trade Commission, for the past 15 years, identity theft has been the number one consumer complaint in the United States. It should be looked at like a warning. So there's going to be precaution signs out there. You need to take precaution for the fact that that's going to happen. All of the things we get told not to do, and we do them anyway, and then they can result in some very, very bad consequences. So everyone is at risk for this, even children. Something that you need to think about. Anyone with any kind of identity, social security information, their identity can be stolen. The scary thing about how it's done with kids is we don't always know that until later in life when they get ready to do things on their own. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to take precautions to avoid these things and what you can look at to help minimize the damage should this happen to you. So let's talk a little bit about some of the facts, what we know about identity theft. So the reality is that no one can 100% prevent having their identity stolen, but doesn't mean we can't minimize some of the risks by taking those precautions. So one of the latest trends of identity theft is thieves are stealing Social Security numbers of kids, just like I mentioned a moment ago, and they're using them to create a completely new credit line. And so any charges that go on that line aren't likely to be detected until that child turns 18 and tries to get their own credit card or school loans or whatever that happens to look like. So as we talk about how to check your credit and being aware of what your information is for identity theft, you might want to check on this for your kiddos. Pass this information along for your grandkids and make sure that everybody's kind of aware and watching. So here's the thing. We have a 1 in 3, y'all, chance of having our identity stolen at some point. That's kind of scary. Okay, that's a pretty big likelihood that this could happen to any one of us. Everyone is at risk. Any personal information you share with the world, your Social Security number, bank account numbers, your medical insurance information, and think about how many places you're required to share that information. And even if you're not doing things online, those companies and businesses are. So your information is out there. And that's okay. It's part of doing business. It's part of where we are and where we are in the world. But we just need to be able to think about how we can protect ourselves in that situation. So identity thieves are looking for anything that can give them access to your personal accounts and that will benefit them. So your full name, okay, can be one of those things. Your Social Security number, which we know that's a pretty big piece of identifying who we are. Your maiden name. For a lot of women, we change our name when we get married, But normally that may be a security question, your mother's last name or your mother's maiden name, or they want to go back further because there was a time when most people weren't aware of that. Now think about your social media and how far back we can go and track people's names and what those maiden names might have been. So just be very aware, if that is a security question, how you're using that and what you want to put in there for information. Of course, your medical card with that medical insurance, any other information that's on record at your doctor's office, and then your birth date. Between that social security number and that birth date, they identify exactly you. So that's an important thing to remember, and be very careful who gets this information, that it's being shared with people and places that are going to be working toward your protection and that are going to be secure for you to use that information. So how do you protect yourself? These are some tips, simple things that you can do and think about in how you're going to protect yourself and hopefully reduce the risk of identity theft. So first of all, have some antivirus software on your computer and your smartphone. It's important to treat all your devices with care, especially because it's going to have sensitive information about you. And you may not have your social security number in there, but if you have access through there to other accounts that might have that information, okay, the thing is that thieves are much better with technology than most of us. And so they know how to jump through the hoops and figure those things out to get to the information that they want. So anything that you log into, you want to make sure is behind that antivirus information where people can't just generally access it. Take note on your calendar if you're expecting to get specific things in the mail. If you know there's a big bill coming, or when this is why the bank always notifies you before they send out a new credit or debit card, so that you're aware, hey, that's coming. It should be here within X amount of days. And then if those things don't show up, you want to follow up on that. Because a lot of times, if they can get that information straight out of your mailbox, pick it up somewhere, then they're going to be able to access a lot of your personal data that way. They've got your name, your address, sometimes an account number that they can access other things. So be very aware of what things are coming in your mail that are actually not just your online things or your digital things, but actual hard copy paper things as well. Cross-shedding sensitive documents, run it through there twice. This makes it almost impossible for someone to put it back together. I know some of us use fireplaces or burn pits to get rid of this type of documentation as well. So just be aware that you're disposing of paper, actual hard copy paper that has your personal information on it in an appropriate way, that someone couldn't take that and use it. Be cautious not to click save password. Now, I know we're very spoiled and we save passwords for a lot of the common sites and things that we use so that we're not constantly having to remember all those passwords. But when we use a public computer or a computer just that anyone else can access, that's not physically yours with you all of the time, you need to be sure you're not saving those passwords on that device. And make sure if you are on a public computer or something, a shared device, that you're logging out of all your accounts when you're done, so that it's not just sitting there up and open where someone can sit down and access that information. So, and you need to just be careful where you open up a website if you're typing in sensitive information that someone could steal, because they might be looking over your shoulder. They might be looking at the screen. In the next part, we're going to talk a little bit about what some of these types of identity theft look like. And some of it seems just pretty simplistic, that, oh, somebody could get my information that way. And of course they could. So you need to be aware of your surroundings when you're working within your accounts and with your personal information. Especially now everyone's carrying their phone around. They snap a photo. They've got everything that you put on that screen that they can take with them. Do not give out your social security number, even if you're applying for a job. You're not required to supply that information until you're actually hired and going to be part of that secure data for that company. So think about those things, that you're not just giving out that information. Okay. And then finally, you can review your credit report 3 times a year. We're going to talk later in the series about exactly how you can do that and where you can go to look for that information and know what's going on and see what cards, what accounts, what things are open in your name. Don't carry your social security card, your passport, your birth certificate just around with you unless you know you have a need for it that day. And then remember to take it out and put it away at home in a safe place. Limit the cards you carry. Don't have 6 or 8 credit cards in your wallet. If someone were to take it, then they have more opportunity to use those cards and take that information from you. And then with everything, create strong passwords. Don't make your PIN number 1234 or something really simple to use. You want to make sure that you're creating things that are going to be really hard to hack or to guess on somebody else's part so that you know you are getting what you need to get. Okay. Again, I'm Mindy Turner with Curry County Cooperative Extension Service. This has been part 1, Identity Theft Basics of our Financial Safety series. All of this information is included in our newsletter for this month. If you'd like to sign up for that newsletter, you can visit our website, curryextension.nmsu.edu, click on Family Health and Wellness, sign up for newsletter. You can get that hard copy in the mail, or you can get it as an email if you prefer. Hopefully, this information will be helpful to you. As always, NMSU is an equal opportunity affirmative action employer and educator, and we hope that this information is beneficial to you and that you will join us right back here for the next part.